Hello class, welcome to week 5. I will start by acknowledging the receipt of some documentation from some of you uh, related to your delay in submitting your introduction and literature review paper. Those of you who have been given extension, please submit it by the date that I agreed with you to submit. Those of you who haven't submitted, and there are quite a few of you who haven't submitted the introduction and literature review paper yet, and you haven't been given any permission or extension to submit. Please be mindful that you are going to lose some points. Just to be fair to everybody in the class, there are a lot of you who have submitted the paper, and I know time is running very fast and the due dates are back to back because this is an 8-week class. So there's a very little room to give extensions. So if you haven't submitted yet, I will encourage you to submit your paper as soon as possible. The longer it takes, the more points that you might likely lose. Now, let's look at midway of this course. We have already covered 4 weeks, and some of you probably have seen your grade for the introduction and literature review. And with that grade, you could tell where you are as far as your midpoint grade for the course. So those of you who are scoring C or below, you may have also received at-risk intervention document from me, which is a paper, kind of a contract between you and me to ensure that you can improve in the last 4 weeks so that you don't fail the class. So if you have received such a document from me, you may want to respond, and then we can agree on a date and time to speak if necessary. If we have to communicate through email, we can do that, but if it is necessary to speak, we will definitely schedule a time to talk about everything included in that intervention form. So if you haven't received one from me yet, and you have seen your grade already, chances are that you are not at risk. And I will encourage everybody to tabulate, add all your grades together right now. So if you would like to see, if you would like to know the actual picture of where you are, you want to go by these weights, these course assignment weights right here, as you see on the syllabus. So your whatever grade you got for the annotated bibliography, you have to convert it to 10%. Same for the proposal introduction, and then the last assignment, and also your first test. That will be 15%. So if you add all those weights together, you can add the 5 percentage points that I agreed to give to the class for the changes that were made to the course, and that will give you some picture of where you are. I'm still grading the literature review, the introduction and literature review paper, so most of you will be getting feedback from me between now and possibly Wednesday. I'm trying to hurry up with this, and some of you haven't submitted your paper, so that might even take longer to get feedback from me. The goal is for you to go back, take a look at the comments and the suggestions that I made on your paper, and fix them before December the 13th, when you have to submit your final December the 13th or the 14th. I think we changed the date to the 14th. So by December 14th, you should have fixed all the corrections I will have made on your introduction, literature review, and methodology sections of the proposal. So if you are doing great right now with your introduction and literature review, that's good for you. That means you have less to fix, and you may likely score very high points in your final research proposal. But for those of you who lost a lot of points because of things that need to be fixed in your paper, please make sure you are fixing them, you are following the guidelines to fix them so that you can score very high points in your final research proposal. But please make sure you are following these guidelines here on the syllabus if you haven't done so already. If you come here, there are very specific guidelines you need to follow for the introduction, literature review, methodology, which will be on the next page right here. Please make sure you are following some of these, all these guidelines. I know some of you are just going off of the sample proposal document on Blackboard. That's okay, but that's somebody's paper, and their topic is probably very different from what you're working on. And even if they are the same, everybody has independent mind, so the way you go about your paper will be different. That's why I'm encouraging everyone to make sure you're also using the syllabus and going point by point. Trying to use the ideas and the suggestions, the guidelines here to write your own paper. That would be good. That would provide a very good guide for you to do well. So I'm grading the papers and I'll be sending them to you as I go. Those of you who will submit them late, expect to get late feedback, especially with the holidays coming, the Thanksgiving break. Please make sure that you are submitting your assignments on time, taking your test on time, and if you have any questions, shoot me an email, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great week.